I'm Jonathan Chapman from LBJ Elementary School. I teach 6th grade there in Breathitt County. And we identified a really big problem, and it's not on our campus alone, but we're going to work on our campus first before we spread our project. It started originally with an STLP project. We took it to regions last year, and it passed through. Took it to state. And one of the reasons why our project did not make it to the finals was our community involvement. It was a service project, and we just basically ran out of time to finish the project. So this year we've requested grant money to purchase a drone to beef up our PR, public relations, try to get the community involved in the project. Our school is located on Pambo Lake. It's a part of the North Fork of the Kentucky River, or at one point was, and it's just a natural habitat for Canadian geese, and they're all over the campus every morning, every afternoon, recess, all the above. So we started this program last year, and the kids basically, you know, I kind of got them started, and then they just kind of ran with it. We identified the problem. Obviously, it was feces on our campus, and it was getting tracked through the hallways, and you know, and the kids are really good about washing their hands, you know, before lunch, and so you can imagine the issues that we were having in the school and in the classroom itself. So one of the first things we did was predator decoys. I actually cut the silhouettes out, and they painted them, and they turned out pretty good. I didn't bring the whole package here today, so just for time's sake. One of the things that we saw was that we started with 70 to 80 geese just on the baseball field, our control area. We had a baseball field and softball field, and then the side playground. 70 to 80 geese usually every day that we measured for pretty much a whole month before we really started to implement any kind of a solution. So it was kind of our control area. And when we started to put the decoys out, we noticed that immediately there was a reduction in the geese. It went from 70 down to like 30, and then it just, week by week, we'd move them around every morning. The kids would go out and move the decoys, and it was working, you know, and then something happened. I guess it was too good to be true, but the population, they started coming back because they got used to the decoys. You know, we concluded that we're going to have to try something else. So that's when we talked to, we had a good idea about talking to the University of Kentucky, and we researched some other, a product called the Goose Buster, and it's a speaker system, basically, that we mounted on the underside of the building. And it's a computerized program. It's got a little control box that controls everything, and it's got coyote sounds, and it's got gunshots. We keep the gunshots turned off just for obvious reasons. But it's got all these different noises that imitate geese in distress. So in combination with the geese and the Goose Buster, the speaker system, we saw those populations decline again. Now, the middle school is not part of our control area, and they have seen an increase in Canadian geese. But again, that's not our control area, so as long as they're not with us, that's all right. Okay, they'll have to do something with them over there. But so yeah, like I said, one of the things, the project is, we love it. We're going to really dig into it this year, take it back to STLP. And hopefully with the drone that we've requested, our community involvement, we can do some PR videos, and hopefully we can get the community involved, and we'll kind of meet that requirement, because that was really basically we were just a few points short, and we expect to get 10 out of 10 on that this year. So that's our project in a nutshell. Any questions? Yes. They will typically avoid confrontation unless they're nesting. and we try to make them uncomfortable where they won't nest. We don't encourage aggression towards the geese.
So if you teach at said middle school and your classroom is next to the water, aggressive geese are being...
That's typically where they nest, yes, next to the water. So I would advise, just, having an informed population, student population, to stay away from the geese. But yeah, that's, any other questions? It's a real straight, it's basically, there's not, how are we going to know if it works or not? We already know it works. The population, just the numbers alone have decreased. And as long as those populations stay low, we're content. We're down to 5, 10 right now on a daily basis, which is great. Yes?
You said that they had gotten used to the decoys. Are those still out there, just like an extra precaution on top of what else you're doing?
Well,
Or do you kind of retire those?
no. Multiple solutions, when you combine them, we've found that are more effective than just one independent solution. So we're going to continue to use the goose buster, the decoys, and some of the other things that the students came, like a strobe light system, like on the top of the buses. Kids love looking out the window, so we'll have to place that kind of on top of the building, so that's not we don't want that out on the baseball field and the kids looking out the window the whole time at the strobe light. But the probably research has shown that one of the most effective deterrent methods would be an addling program, and it's National Humane Society approved. It's actually where you get the community involved, and they identify where the nests are. So the residents of Pambo Lake, all up and down the banks of Pambo Lake, there are houses, and it's a community. So when they identify where the nests are on their own property, you actually take the eggs out of the nest, and you can use nail polish or cooking oil on the eggs, and it makes the eggs sterile, so they don't hatch. And then the geese, in turn, the following year, they won't nest there again because they feel threatened. And that's an approved practice for goose population. Thank you.